What's up guys, Drew here, and of course this is my next installment in the 2018 YouTube Pagan Challenge, and V is for validation. Now for me, validation is much like labels in that it can kind of be a double-edged sword. Whenever we are first starting out in anything, whether that be just giving intuitive information, channeling, working with tarot or any other form of divination, even our spell work. If we can have someone or something outside of ourselves that's independent of the situation, or at least seemingly independent of the situation, sort of give us feedback that validates what we are doing, that affirms for us that we're on the right track and that we're doing something right, or that we have a certain gift or ability, that can be greatly important in feeding our confidence and our drive to continue and to strengthen this gift, ability, talent, craft. And I would say in the beginning of anything that validation is almost necessary, because it does give us that confidence and that ability to move forward. But I would also say that after a point, if we are constantly seeking validation and not receiving it, either just not getting any feedback or getting feedback to the contrary of what we're looking for, that can be hugely damaging if we allow it to be. We cannot hang the hat of our confidence and our belief in self and our abilities on the nail of validation, either good or bad. If we become dependent on that, we are no longer free. We are then setting roadblocks in our own path that hinder us. When it comes to any of the things that I have mentioned in this video, we really need to be free and open and fluid and moving and growing and changing and just sort of going instinctually, intuitively through these processes. And if we become too mired down in a need for validation, we can greatly hinder the process and hurt the process. I have had different instances on my path where I have received validation in different forms, and it has been hugely uplifting and even sometimes a major catalyst for change and growth, and it's beautiful. But I had to step outside of that, and it was hard for me to do. Again, fortunately, I was able to grow and be fostered in an environment that was safe for me to do all kinds of things. That metaphysical shop that I worked in, the witchy shop, I was exposed to so many different things and got to play in so many different areas. I say play. It was fun, and it was a learning experience. I learned so much about working with crystals and crystal energy, the chakras, of course, magic, all different kinds of spell crafting, and in that environment, I was able to do lots of things that I would not otherwise have had the opportunity to do. For instance, I've never talked about this before on my channel, but I call it feeling people up. But essentially, I'm reading your chakras. I can, and this is something I developed in that environment that would not have come about any other way. I realized that I'm sure many other people can do this, but I can sense the chakras and I can get intuitive information about the individual based on what I'm feeling in their chakra. Because if you know what they are, what they stand for, what they coincide with, what they affect and influence, and what affects and influences them, you can gauge different things about an individual. If their root chakra is off, maybe they're not doing well financially, or they're homeless. I mean, there could be a million different things. This tapped in with guidance and intuition, I can give people a reading based on the energy of their chakras. And in that environment, I got lots of validation while doing that. So now I am secure in the fact that I can do that. But this is, I mean, this is true for reading tarot. This is true for working with crystals. It's true for many, many things. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to have some validation and some interaction in this safe environment with many, many different kinds of individuals and many different kinds of things. But there still came a point, even in that, where I had to step aside and put everyone else to the side and decide if I was going to be confident and believe in what it was that I could do and not need the outside validation. This is particularly true of my personal path, because even if you get validation from outside, it is still your personal path that you are walking alone. At some point, we have to be secure in ourselves and walk with confidence in our own shoes. I've kind of gotten off topic there, but I mean, it's just on my path. Validation has been both hugely fulfilling and hugely limiting if I have allowed it to be so. And I have at times. So I feel like validation is great, but we each need to come into a space where we can say, thank you, I appreciate that, but not actually need it. And to be able to just be secure in ourselves and know that even if we give someone some intuitive information, or we give them a reading that they don't understand or that they feel is wrong or what have you, that there's a reason for that. They needed to hear the message you gave for one reason or another. They're too close to the situation to see what's really going on. They are not yet fully aware of everything that's going on. There are so many reasons why you may not get that validation, and it doesn't feel great to be walking around blind or to feel like you've done something the wrong way or what have you. I would say this. I finally had to come to a point where I realized that whether or not I got outside validation from outside of me, that I was walking the right path for me and that I was doing what was right for me, as long as I was following my intuition and my guidance. I can only speak from my own experience and what my truths are. So I have found my ways to stand in my power and to be confident in myself and my abilities and the things that I choose to do. I guess that's the point of the video. It's that validation is great, but if each and every one of us can find a way to stand in our own power and to be confident, and I'm not talking about being egotistical and condescending or thinking that we're smarter than other people, or I'm just talking about being secure within ourselves and our magic, our intuitive abilities, our divinatory abilities, whatever you want to say. Whatever it is we are choosing to do, that is going to be the healthiest place for us. It is going to be the place that we are best able to create, to manifest, to be in touch with our intuitive abilities, our psychic abilities, whatever those may be, our ability to interpret symbols around us, our ability to connect with our deities or guides or what have you. The more secure and confident and stable and at ease we are within ourselves, and the less we need to look for outside validation, the better. This video has already gone on way longer than I expected it to. Essentially, that's the core of my message. So thanks for listening, guys, and until next time, much love and gratitude.